Well, we're very excited that this workshop is about to start. Don't panic when you hear the name workshop. We won't be calling you up to do any kind of improvisation. It's the Red Room Thespians who are putting on this workshop. They've been working with 2 scenes from The Merchant of Venice for the last 2 weeks, workshopping it. And so I'd like to give a wee bit of an introduction and fill you in on what happens before these scenes begin, and then we'll draw the curtain. Okay, so this is part of the course that we've been taking, reading 6 plays by Shakespeare this past semester. And just as a musical score on a sheet means nothing unless it's played, so a play script doesn't come alive until people begin taking on the characters and the voices and the tones and play it. So part of the course was that students choose a character, a scene, a dialogue, a monologue, and bring it alive by acting it out in class. So these last 2 acts of Merchant of Venice are what the entire class chose to work on for this occasion. Just a bit about Venice in the time of Shakespeare. The play is called The Merchant of Venice, and it could easily be called The Traders on Wall Street. This is the world that Venice represents in the play. Venice was a world trading center, and mainly because it had laws that governed how people could trade and what they could trade. So it was a trusted place. It had a Wall Street, it was called the Rialto, where fortunes were won and lost, where commerce rules, and commerce seeps into all the relationships that take place in Venice. For instance, Shylock the Jew is a moneylender. His daughter elopes, runs away with a Christian, and Shylock runs down the street crying, "My daughter, my ducats, my daughter." So you don't know if he's mourning the money she's taken with her, or if he's mourning his daughter. Things are woven together like that. And then there's Antonio, the Christian, wealthy merchant, and Sebastian, his friend. And they're bound together by commerce as well. Sebastian has loaned so much money from Antonio, and this is all part of how they are bound together in the city of Venice. And then there's Portia, the wealthy heiress. Her father has died, and suitors come from Morocco, from Ireland to try and win her hand. And are they going for her gold, or are they going for her? That's the question. But there's another world in this play. It's the world of Belmont. And it stands apart from Venice. Portia and her father come from Belmont. And Portia's father, before he dies, is worried about men coming for Portia's gold and not for herself. So he sets up a kind of a lottery. He has 3 chests: silver, gold, and lead. And the suitor who chooses the right chest wins Portia's hand. And every chest has a little riddle on it. The risks are high because if the suitor chooses the wrong chest, he may never ask another woman to marry him for the rest of his life. Let's see.
Which is the right chest?
Well, the gold and the silver chests are the wrong chests. The riddles that are on those chests appeal to what the suitor will gain or what the suitor will deserve when he wins Portia's hand. But the lead chest says If you choose me, you must hazard all. And otherwise, you must give all and you must hazard all. It's the only riddle that talks about the risks of love. And so this is Portia's father's way of trying to find someone who will go after Portia for herself and not for her money. So imagine these two worlds. There's Belmont, where you risk all for love, and there's Venice, where you take huge financial risks for financial gain. A bit about this time. Shylock the Jew is a moneylender in this play, and Shakespeare would not have known any Jews in London of his time, because in England in 1290, all Jews were exiled from England. And so during Shakespeare's time, there would have been maybe 80, 90 Jews in London itself. Meanwhile, in Venice, there would have been over 1,000 Jews. There was the first ghetto in Europe was given to Jews to live in Venice at this time. So what you see in the play is actually a reflection of Shakespeare's time. Jewish people and Christians despised, feared, and suspected one another. Martin Luther there's a quote from Martin Luther saying, "We are at fault for not slaying them," the Jews. "Rather, we allow them to live freely in our midst, despite all their murdering, cursing, blaspheming, lying, and defaming." So this is Martin Luther speaking about how the Jews should be exiled, or worse, all killed. So the Merchant of Venice reflects this atmosphere at this time. So that's just a bit about the background. Now, I'll just tell you a bit about the story before we start. So Bassanio, Antonio's friend, wants to try and woo Portia, but he has no money to do that. So he asks Antonio to give him a loan. He's already in Antonio's debt. Antonio, at that time, all his money is tied up in ships that are out to sea. But he says, "Go to Shylock in my name, and you can get money from him, and I will pay Shylock back." Shylock and Antonio are sworn enemies at this time, before this happens. And Shylock says, "All right, I'll lend you the money, but if you don't pay by such and such a time, I am entitled to a pound of your flesh, the flesh closest to your heart." And Antonio's so sure that this would never happen. He says, "No problem." So that's their agreement. So Bassanio goes to win Portia's hand. They get married, and as well as Gratiano and Nerissa get married. Nerissa is Portia's handmaid, and Gratiano is another friend of Bassanio. So their celebration of their marriage is interrupted with news that Antonio's ships have all sunk, and Antonio cannot meet what he owes Shylock. And Shylock is about to demand his end of the bargain, that is, cut off a pound of Antonio's flesh. So that's the scene that's the story so far. So the first scene that you'll see takes place in the courtroom. Portia, Bassanio, and Gratiano have left Belmont and gone to Venice to try and save Antonio. And as soon as they leave, Portia and her maid Nerissa leave and disguise themselves as the lawyer and the lawyer's assistant. And on the way to Venice to try and defend Antonio, they visit an expert in the law of Venice who tells them how they can defend. So Portia is disguised as a lawyer, and Nerissa, her maid, is disguised as the lawyer's assistant. And that's, so we'll start with the courtroom scene. Enjoy the play.
loans and friends, money and fiends, those who seek revenge and scheme. Antonio, a man of wealth, helping more than just himself. Bassanio, a youth in debt, has fallen in love, and in order to get fair Portia's hand, he must borrow, lest he be heartsick with sorrow. Bassanio begs, Antonio please, lend me the ducats, for I see the fairest beauty of the land. I must go and seek her hand. Antonio, he shakes his head. Bassanio, I have none to lend, but go to town and find a loan. Put in my name, for I'm well known. Unfortunate for Antonio, to Shylock did Bassanio go. Shylock, the Jew, the tricky serpent, he had cause to hate the merchant. But in a calm, he played it cool, refusing to be played the fool. 3,000 ducats to be paid in full, in 3 months' time again procured. But Shylock joked of the request, and instead the fiend suggests that if unpaid by the end of term, he'd ask for one thing in return. 1 pound of flesh would have to go from the flesh of fair Antonio.
Fair Antonio. Fair Antonio, that conniving Christian. Fair. He has disgraced me, hindered me $500,000, laughed at my losses, mocked at my gains, throttled my bargains, scorned my nation, heated my friends, cooled my enemy, and what is his reason? I am a Jew! Have not a Jew eyes? Have not a Jew hands? Organs, dimensions, senses, affections, passions? Fed with the same food, hurt by the same weapons, subject to the same diseases, healed by the same means, warmed and cooled by the same winter and summer as a Christian is. If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? And if you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, will we not revenge? If we are like you and the rest, we will mimic you in that. If a Jew wrong a Christian, what is his humility? Revenge. If a Christian wrong a Jew, what should his sufferance be by Christian example? Why revenge? The villainy you teach me, I will execute, and it will go hard, and I will better the instruction.
Have you come from Bellario?
Yes. Yes, here's the letter from him.
Shylock, why are you sharpening your knife on the sole of your shoe?
Antonio owes me £1 pound of his flesh, and I mean to cut it out.
You're not sharpening your knife on the sole of your shoe. You're sharpening it on your own harsh soul, Jew. Can't anything change your mind?
No.
Damn you, you dog! Your soul is like a wild animal's. Bloody, wolfish, savage, ravenous.
No matter how loud you shout, you cannot erase Antonio's signature from the agreement. The law is on my side.
This letter recommends a young and learned lawyer from Bellario. Where is he?
He's waiting nearby to see if you'll allow him into the court.
Yes, with all my heart. Please go and get him. Ah, here's the lawyer. Come shake my hand, boy. Have you come from old Bellario?
Yes, my lord.
Are you familiar with this case?
I am thoroughly informed. Which is the Jew and which is the merchant?
Old Antonio, Shylock, please step forward.
Is your name Shylock?
Shylock is my name, and I have told the court what I want.
And what is that?
That what me and Antonio have agreed upon be carried out. He could not repay the loan, and therefore forfeits a pound of his flesh. If you tell me that I cannot have it, you will be breaking your laws. And no one, I tell you, no one will trust the laws of the city of Venice anymore. You may ask why I would prefer a pound of rotting flesh than to receive 3,000 ducats. I will not tell you. I don't have to tell you that, because I don't have to explain myself, because the law is already on my side. If I had a rat in my house, I'd be willing to pay 10,000 ducats to get rid of it. Antonio is that rat. Are you satisfied?
This is a strange case. But the law agrees with you. Then you are at his mercy.
Yes,
You confess that you broke your agreement with Shylock?
I do.
Then the Jew must have mercy on you.
Mercy? Why should I have mercy on him? You have slaves, you bought them, and you treat them the same way you do your mules and your dogs. Should I tell you to have mercy on them? To let them go free? To marry your heirs? Why don't you make their beds as soft as yours? You will answer me that you are entitled to them because you bought them. So I answer you this. The flesh that I demand of Antonio, I bought it. It is mine, and I will have it. And if you deny me this, your law means nothing.
What do you mean?
Why should I be merciful?
The quality of mercy is that it is free for everyone. It drops down like the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It brings double blessing. It blesses the one who gives and the one who receives. It is mightiest in the mighty, and it becomes the monarch better than his own crown. The king's scepter instills awe, dread, and fear, but mercy is above all this. It finds its throne in the heart of the powerful. It is a symbol of God. And earthly power most resembles God when mercy seasons justice. Therefore, Jew, though you ask for justice, consider this. If we were all measured by the rule of justice, none of us would see salvation. We pray for mercy, and that same prayer teaches us to be merciful. Please reconsider your claim on Antonio. Otherwise, this court will be subject to justice and to your agreement.
I will take full responsibility for my actions. I crave the law.
Is he not able to pay back the money?
Actually, he can't, sir. I offered the Jew 3 times the amount that Antonio owes him. I'd give up much more than that. My hands, my head, my heart. So please, if that will not be sufficient, then use your power to break the law. Stop this devil Jew from getting his way.
We cannot break the law. Otherwise, other lawyers would use this case as an example to break more laws.
Rightful judge.
There is no power in Venice that can alter the agreement.
You are worthy.
Please, let me look at the agreement.
Yes, good man. Right here, excellent lawyer. Everything is in order.
Shylock, They have offered you 3 times the amount Antonio owes you.
I made a promise with heaven. Do I dare go back on my word? Do I dare quarrel with heaven?
Well, Antonio did not pay the amount at the agreed time. So the law says that a pound of his flesh belongs to the Jew.
Yes.
Shylock, be merciful. Take 3 times the amount Antonio owes you and tear up the agreement.
I'll tear up the agreement after Antonio gives me a pound of his flesh. You are an excellent judge. You know the law well and have explained it. There is nothing that you can say that will change my mind. I want Antonio's flesh.
Please, tell me the court's decision.
Well then. Antonio, prepare yourself for his
Yes,
martyrdom.
excellent man.
Because the law supports the penalty that was written in the agreement.
That is true. Your young looks surpass your wisdom. I mean, you're a wise young judge.
So Antonio, bare your chest.
Yes.
Is there a scale to weigh the flesh?
Yes, I have it here.
Antonio, have you paid for a doctor? We're going to need one to stop up Antonio's wounds, otherwise he might bleed to death.
Is that in the agreement?
No. But would it not be humane?
Sorry, I can't find it in the agreement.
Antonio, do you have anything to say?
Only a little. I'm prepared to die. But Bassanio, give me your hand. Look into my eyes. Please. Farewell, my dear friend. Grieve not that has come to this, but commend me to your honorable wife and tell her how this day came to be. Let her know that I loved you, and let her be the judge of whether or not you were once well loved. Do not grieve that you are losing your friend, for your friend grieves not that he is paying your debt. Or, if the Jew's knife goes too deep, I will pay your debt immediately with all of my heart.
Antonio, I love my wife, but she is nothing compared to you. I would give up her in a second if only you would be safe.
Your wife would not thank you for your sacrifice.
I love my wife too, but I wish she were in heaven to beg God to change this merciless Jew.
How nice of you to wish this behind your wife's back. How it would disturb your relationship had she been here to hear it.
Look how unfaithful these Christian husbands are. I wish my daughter had married a thief instead of a Christian. We're wasting time. Let us continue with the agreement.
According to the law, a pound of Antonio's flesh is yours.
Yes.
The law says that you may cut this flesh from off his chest.
Then let us proceed.
Wait a second. The agreement does not say that you can have any blood. It only says that you can take a pound of flesh. So you may take your pound of flesh, but if you shed even one drop of Christian blood, your lands and your possessions will be forfeit to the state of Venice.
Oh, upright judge.
Is that what the law says?
Yes, you've insisted on justice, so we will give you justice.
Oh, learned judge.
Well then, I'll take Bassanio's offer of twice what he owes me and let the Christian go.
Here's the money.
Wait! The Jew shall have all justice. Don't give him the money. He will get only his pound of flesh.
You are such a wise judge.
Get ready to cut the flesh off of Antonio's chest. Don't shed any blood, and don't take any more than 1 pound. If you do, you will die, and the state of Venice will take everything that you own.
Oh, wise judge. You're at my mercy now, Jew.
No. Can I just have what I lent him?
Here it is.
No! He already refused the money in front of the court.
Can I just have back what I gave him?
No. You will get only your pound of flesh, which you will take at your own risk.
Let the devil take him! I stay no longer to argue.
Wait, Jew. There's one more thing. The laws of Venice punish those who weren't born in Venice if they try to kill someone who was born in Venice. Shylock has to give half of his possession to the state, and the other half will go to Antonio. After that, it's up to the Duke to decide whether or not he should be hanged for attempted murder.
Beg for permission to hang yourself. Now that all your money's going to the state, you don't even have enough money to buy a rope to hang yourself with.
Well, I'm a more forgiving person than yourself, so I'll pardon you before you even ask. As it stands, half the money will go to the state and half the money to Antonio. If you're humble, I might just change my mind.
It's up to the Duke to decide what goes to the state, but Antonio is still going to get his half.
No! Just kill me.
Antonio, can you show some mercy?
Just give him a free rope.
If you want Shylock to keep half his money, then I am content with that. But I will take the other half and give it to the Christian who took his daughter. I want him to do 2 things. I want him to become a Christian, and I want him to promise that after he dies, that all of his money will go to his daughter and son-in-law.
He will do these 2 things. If not, he'll be put to death.
Do you give your consent, Jew?
I give my consent.
Drop a will for Sherlock.
Please, let me go home. I'm feeling ill. Send the will to my house. I'll sign it there.
You can go, but you have to sign the will. This court is dismissed.
had been your judge, I would have killed you.
Most worthy gentlemen, thank you so much for saving the lives of Antonio and myself. Please, take the money we were going to give to the Jew as a thank you.
Over and above that, we owe you our love and service forever.
I'm happy with the good that I've done here, and that happiness is payment enough.
I insist. Please, take something to remember us by.
Well, if you insist, I'll take your hat. I'll remember you when I wear it. And I'll take your ring. I'll remember your love when I wear it. Bassanio, don't pull your hand away from me. You said that you loved me. You can't refuse me this.
This ring is worthless. You wouldn't want it.
Oh, I see how you are. You offer much, but then when I actually ask for something, you're unwilling to part with it.
This ring is worth more to me than it's worth. I'll give you the most expensive ring in Venice, but I cannot give you this one.
I will have nothing but this ring.
Good sir, my wife gave me this ring. She told me, she made me promise never to lose, leave, or give it away.
Any man can use that excuse to get out of giving a gift. If your wife is not mad, she'll understand how much I deserve this ring. She wouldn't stay mad at you long for having given it to me. Well, goodbye.
My Lord Bassanio, please reconsider. Give him the ring. He deserves it, and he saved my life. Besides, I love you, and that should be worth more than what your wife has asked.
Bertanio, go. Give him this ring and give him something of your own. Hurry. Come, Antonio. Tonight we'll go to your house, and tomorrow we'll head to Belmont.
Back to Belmont, the women go, before their men return from the Venice show. A trick to play, and to prove men's love, they've taken rings, they've taken gloves. Back in Belmont, the rings are gone, and the women believe their men have played Don Juan. The men, confused, they try to plead with their wives and deny such deeds. But hard the women press the men, for the truth they ask again. Oh calm, the men try to remain, but oh how hard women play this game.
Oh, look at the candlelight. Look how far it shines.
We couldn't see it earlier when the moon was shining.
Listen to that music. Listen.
It's coming from your house.
I think that it sounds much sweeter at night than by day.
Indeed, the stillness of night is what makes it so sweet.
I think that some people praise some things because they happen at just the right time. If the nightingale sang during the day when all the geese are cackling, no one would think its song sounded as sweet.
Portia! Portia! You shine as bright as the sun.
Let me give light. Welcome home, my husband.
Thank you. Oh, here. Welcome my good friend Antonio.
He has done much for you. You are surely bound to him.
I've been repaid for everything.
You are welcome in our house.
I swear you do me wrong. I gave it to the lawyer's assistant. You are taking this much too seriously.
What's wrong? Are you fighting already?
Yes, it's just about this ring she gave me.
Why do you keep talking about how much it's worth? When I gave it to you, you swore you'd wear it to your grave. You said you'd never take it off. I bet that boy you gave it to won't even grow a beard.
He will grow a beard, so long as he grows old enough to be a man.
If a woman can become a man.
I swear I gave it to a young boy. A short, talkative chap, not much taller than you are right now. He begged me to give him the ring. He wouldn't take anything but the ring for all that he had done.
You shouldn't have given up your wife's first gift so easily, especially when you promised to keep it. I gave my love a ring. I made him swear to never take it off, and here he stands. I guarantee that he would not take the ring off for all the money in the world. You're treating your wife very poorly. If you did that to me, I'd be mad.
Oh man. I should just cut off my left hand now and tell him I friggin' lost it.
Bassanio gave his ring away to the lawyer, who begged of it, and deserved it, and then the assistant asked me for my ring. They wouldn't take anything but the rings.
What ring did you give the lawyer, Bassanio? I hope it wasn't the one that I gave you.
Well, I wish I could lie, Portia, but it was that ring.
I swear, I will never get into your bed until I see that ring.
Sweet Portia. Sweet, sweet Portia, if you only knew to whom I gave the ring. If you only knew for whom I gave the ring and could imagine why I gave them the ring. How hard he begged for the ring. Surely you would forgive me?
If you had known the power of the ring, or how the worthiness of the woman who gave you the ring, you would not, or your own honor to retain the ring, you would not have parted with the ring. I think Nurse is right. There must be some woman in Venice wearing the ring.
No, there is no woman. I gave it to the lawyer. I offered him 3,000 ducats, but he refused. All he wanted was the ring. Please, he saved my dear friend Antonio's life. I had to give it to him. I was ashamed not to.
You had better never let that lawyer come near my house, because if you do, seeing as how generous you were with the ring that you promised to keep, I will become just as generous. I won't deny anything.
I'm not my body,
and not my husband's bed.
The same with me and the lawyer's assistant.
But if you want, but I will fight him.
Please, please. It's my fault you guys are fighting.
Don't be upset, sir. You are welcome here, nevertheless.
Please, Your Worship. I promise in front of everyone here.
You will have to swear a lot for your promise to mean anything.
Please, I promise you everything. I will never break a promise to you again.
The last time I made a promise to Bassanio, I almost lost my life. But despite that, I'll make another one, and I swear that if he ever breaks a promise to you again, I will give you my soul.
Well then, give him this ring, and make him promise to keep it better than the last one.
Bassanio, swear to keep this ring.
But this is the same ring I gave the lawyer.
I got it from him. Forgive me, Bassanio, for in exchange for this ring, the lawyer slept with me.
I got this ring from the lawyer's assistant when I slept with him.
Why cheat on us so early without us even giving them reason to yet?
Don't be so crude! You are all so confused. Here's a letter that will prove that I was the lawyer and that Nerissa was my assistant. We left Belmont just before you did and arrived here from Venice just before you did. Antonio, you are welcome here, and I have some good news for you. This letter will tell you that all 3 of your ships have made it safely ashore.
You were the lawyer the whole time and I didn't recognize you?
And you were the lawyer's clerk that you just said you slept with?
Yes.
Well then, sweet lawyer, tonight I will sleep with you. And tomorrow, you both may sleep with my wife.
My lady, this says for certain that my ships are safe. You've saved my life again.
It's almost morning. Let us go inside. You can ask us all the questions you want, and we promise to tell you the whole story.
Now it's my turn to interrogate you. And my first question is, shall we go to bed tonight or wait 2 hours till dawn? But if we were to wait till day, I shall wish it were dark so I could sleep with the lawyer's clerk. But anyways, I promise that I will fear nothing less than keeping your ring safe.
Oh!
Together again, the couples unite, except Antonio, but he's all right. Alive and well, they all are sound. Love and freedom have been found. The merchant of Venice can rest at last. The whole event is in the past. We thank you all for coming out and joining us, without a doubt. Our course we've run, we've had our fun, and now a bow from everyone. Bring me as the Duke. our students are bound to learn of governance that is sound. But because our students are kind of poor, donations are accepted at the door.